She does look a little like 6.
But healthier.
Yeah. I don't know.
This is the
let's
before.
drop her from a roof, see how she lands. Are you 6? Here, drop 5 feet. And it began on a cold winter's night.
In Tokyo.
Tokyo RPG Studio. This is their first project. I am Setsuna. Oh boy. This was an RPG that just by the music, I'm like, I hope she likes this.
Oh my god.
And then it was on sale, so I bought it and
fell in love with the music.
It's great.
Yeah, I fell in love with the music. Just pretty much everything about the music. There wasn't one song in this game that I didn't like.
Yeah? See, the first time I was hearing it, I was just like, this is nice. And then playing it, it took a while to get adjusted. Like piano battle themes, piano victory, piano, like every mood hit the piano. And but honestly, by like experiencing the whole thing together, that's what helped.
Yeah.
So this is the story about a lone mercenary who doesn't talk, because trademark JRPG protagonists don't talk.
Which honestly, I like way better, because then you can give them whatever personality you want.
Sometimes it works. Other times, like, it's kind of awkward. Like the Luminary in Dragon Quest XI. I'm like, he clearly has a character because you meet him as a kid and he has a character. So the only reason he doesn't talk is because he's supposed to be the player character.
Okay.
And to, like, keep up with the Dragon Quest traditions. Whereas everyone else has a character. They have development. Yeah. They're very engaging, whereas the Luminary is just the Luminary. Yeah. He's not a bad character, but I'm just like, you could have added a character and nowhere to go but up.
I just go, meh.
Yep.
But here we have our main character, Endir, who has the cat mask on.
Yeah.
We're also fairly certain he has cat eyes.
Yeah. Some of us think, like, it's on the mask, but
I think it's his actual eyeballs.
Yeah, you're of the opinion that, like, those are his actual eyes. He has cat eyes.
Yeah.
And the game only says, oh, the guy with the scary mask.
Yeah, because, like, even there, you can kind of see his little yellow cat eyeballs. Mm-hmm. They're where his eyes should be. Right. And his mask is covering his eyes. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming those were his actual eyes. But anyway, Endir is meeting this mysterious stranger who's basically giving him a job. Mm-hmm. He's telling him how wonderful he is and how talented.
It's also going to teach you the basics, because Japan loves having old men teach you the basics.
Well, I mean,
combat,
they're wise,
destroying monsters, and what monsters they are.
Wise old men. I want one of these pengies in the worst way. It is so cute, but vicious.
When we were playing this, you're like, hey, can we just have some, like, little plushies of all the enemies?
Oh my god, that'd be so cute. But, like, they'd have to be small, though, because, like, I'm really weird and I don't much care for knickknacks. Okay. Which is why it takes me so long to do certain crafts, because I'm like, it's just going to sit there, like, it's not going to do anything.
I get that.
So I would almost want them to be the size of, like, a Beanie Baby or, like, a hacky sack. Mm-hmm. Like, it'd be pretty small.
So another controversy about this game is everyone compares it to Chrono Trigger. And I feel that I'm in another Origami King situation where it's just like, I don't want you to dislike Chrono Trigger from what I'm about to say. Mm-hmm. I don't even want it to sound like I'm disliking Chrono Trigger. Like, Chrono Trigger is a really good game. It has art by Akira Toriyama. It's about time travel. It has a very engaging story. But the same studio worked on this title. Kind of wanted to, like, harken back to the old days. And the game only markets specifically the battle system is inspired by Chrono Trigger.
Okay.
But people took it as the game is inspired by Chrono Trigger.
See, I don't
in this
feel like I much
limelight to where it's just like, this isn't Chrono Trigger.
Well, I don't feel like I much compare in that manner. Mm-hmm. Because I do understand every single game is different. Yeah. Whether it's a solo game that's just part of a franchise like Mario, or whether it is an actual franchised game that you play in a certain order, or that is beneficial to play in a certain order, much like The Witcher. Yeah. Not so much the Wild Hunt, because to my knowledge, you don't have to play the first ones to play Wild Hunt.
That's what I've been told.
But I'm sure it's beneficial.
I'm still looking for the Wild Hunt. Unfortunately, this is the worst time to look for Witcher games because season 2 came out.
Yeah.
it's the same with From Software games, because Elden Ring is coming out, so like Dark Souls, Bloodborne,
they're all kind of
Sekiro,
which
Shadow
means
Die Twice,
the prices are all going to go up.
The prices are high, and the games are hard to get a hold of.
Yeah,
this is the worst time to get a From Software game.
But I don't necessarily judge them based on that, because even the games that are like The Witcher, where it might be beneficial, we're not sure, but we're just going to say that's a game you should play in order, just for the sake of my explanation. Okay. The first one is going to be very different than the last one because technology changes, staff members change. Yeah. Even the console might change. Mm-hmm. So it's all of these different things. You can't say, oh, well, the old one is garbage because look how beautiful the new one is. Right. Well, I mean, technology.
Yeah. I will say this, and like I'll dive more into it as we go along, but like what the game focuses on and wants to accomplish, I'm Setsuna is what I'm talking about. Yeah. I think it does it really well. Focusing on like just
the story,
the music and stuff, and having that very solemn tone from
it's
beginning
a very
to end.
Melancholy game.
That
and
really
it's like
helps.
One thing I think
mechanically, it's one of the weaker RPGs.
Which I don't fully understand that yet, but I also have not played this game. I've only watched it.
There are mechanics like cooking and like flux that the game doesn't really explain that much. Okay. You have to look up to learn.
Yeah.
Oh,
getting the recipes and yeah. I can agree with that, yeah.
And that's frustrating for me when compared to like Ys.
Oh yeah.
Dragon Quest XI,
where it's just like so spot on. But the information comes in a way that doesn't break the fluidity of the game. Okay. So it's not like playing Scooby-Doo and Cyber Chase where like you stop the game so that they can explain what's going to happen and what you need to do. I get why they did that. They had the voice actors,
To be fair, that is optional. Like you do, like it'll go bop, 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 and you hit the button and they talk.
Oh, okay.
So like you can
even still it breaks the fluidity.
But it does break the flow.
Whereas like Ys, it comes in a very interesting way where the fluidity of the game's not broken.
Doggy's team even. Doggy team's even.
I freaking love that bird.
Raid at the fort. Raid at the fort.
And it's optional. You can go and do it if you want, but
to my understanding, it doesn't repeat itself. It just kind of goes
doggy team. Doggy
oh yeah.
Team.
So like
that's your alert.
Well, so what will happen like if you're in Ys, if you're out on a mission? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have a little girl who's injured. Yeesh. But in Ys,
we got ourselves a monster.
Woo, the first boss.
He's a polar bear. Coca-Cola polar bear.
What's on his head?
Well, he drank Pepsi, so he grew a horn.
He mutated.
Yep.
I saw the most savage Pepsi commercial on YouTube.
Ooh.
There was.
When was this?
Oh, it was a few weeks ago. There was a little kid that like goes up to a vending machine and he buys 2 Coca-Colas to stand on them so he can reach the Pepsi button. Mm-hmm. And then he like takes his Pepsi and just leaves the 2 Coca-Colas sitting on the ground.
Okay.
But it's in like, I don't want to say like a slum, but you can tell it's like a lower income area.
Okay.
So I guess like it's supposed to be like that big middle finger. Like I'd be willing to waste money to get a Pepsi.
Oh, wow. So yeah, this is talking about like flux and momentum and stuff like that. Very complex stuff. Once you grasp it though, like it does become like second nature with the RPG. What I don't recommend is playing other RPGs and coming back to this. Luckily, these tutorials you can find at any time in your menu. Yeah. So you can go back and be like, that was the tutorial on flux and momentum.
Oh. What I was saying with Ys, so if you're out on like a mission and you're on the map and there's a raid back at like the base, little Pero will go, raid, we need your help. Yep. And then a little symbol will just show up in the corner of the screen. Okay. And as long as that little symbol is there, it lets you know that you can go back and partake in the raid if you want to.
Okay.
But as soon as the symbol goes away, it means the raid is done.
The raid's done. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Now, you see that little like snowflake in the corner?
Yeah.
That's going to fill up during the battle.
Okay.
And when it fills up all the way, you get like this little like spark. And you can use that spark by pressing the Y button in the midst of your attack animation to double the damage. So yeah, that is like the key in making battles go quicker, and also like...
Just making your hits hit harder.
Yeah, making your hits hit harder. Well, it also like... I think there's like a healing spell. If you do it correctly, instead of healing one character, it heals everybody.
Oh.
So like, it makes a difference between, wow, this game's kind of challenging, to, oh, okay. We can just, like, cakewalk through this.
Yeah. So the little girl is asking, like, where are the monsters? Am I safe? And they're like, oh, we took care of the monsters. And she's like, oh, okay, so, like, it's safe now. So in the story, it just kind of gives you that hint of, like, monsters are a problem here.
Yeah. And also, it gives you a little hint of, like, what Endir is.
Yeah.
His job.
See, that's, like... If I had to dive into it, which I really hate when people do that, but I like to do it for fun.
Okay.
Like, not in a serious manner. And if someone is like, well, that's not right, I'd be like, okay, I mean, it's never stated, so, like, it very well could be wrong. But I just like to pretend.
I just got a lot of money. Thank you, Habsburg.
But I don't think Endir's human.
Okay.
Because, like, the way that everyone talks about him, like, how he's so special and... Like, he's so good at his job, and he's so talented, and then you see, like, his mask and his eyes, and just, like...
You think he's, like, from Demon Slayer?
Yeah, kind of.
Like
I feel like he's probably, like, either a mutated person or just, like, a different type of person, but I don't think he's human.
Yeah. Another thing is, like, this is one of those RPGs with, like, false choices.
Yeah.
Nothing you say really affects
the game
except for one choice.
Yeah.
And that's at the very end. And all it does is affect what happens.
Yeah, it just affects your credits.
I won't spoil, but here's our client.
He's a mysterious man. But yeah, I like Endir. I also like that you do get to kind of make his personality. Like, they give you a sassy option or just, like, a straightforward option. So you can kind of make him a jerk, or you could make him just like, okay.
But there's some RPGs where, like, you have that choice, but what you say affects their relationship to you. So there will be moments where, because you were sassy to them, they won't help you in a future moment.
Well, that's how Ys is.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, if you're mean to a character, they're not going to help you out.
Ooh. Well, cool. I was thinking of, like, moral choices, but... Yeah, I could see Ys doing that.
I think those games are either short, like very short games,
there it is.
Or they're big budget.
We must find a girl in a village,
and
in a house, and kill her.
The first time that I saw this, I was just like, there's a frog on a log and a bump on the tail of the frog on the log in in the bottom of the sea. He's like, there's a village.
Across the sea, there is an island, and on that island, there is a village. And in that village is a house.
In that house
is a bookshelf. Reading the bookshelf is her father. In the corner is her mother. Out way in the backyard is a young girl. That girl you must kill. With a sword. The sword that you got from a blacksmith. The blacksmith who was raised by a hero. I wanted to go on further, but my throat was like, listen, pup. Ain't happening. So yeah, this entire soundtrack is done through piano.
Oh god, it's so pretty though. Like
Tomoki Miyoshi.
Tomoki?
Possibly.
I don't know if it's Tomoki
but this
or
is a
Tomoki.
small branch of Square Enix, who has made Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Trials of Mana, The Last Story. No, wait. The Last Story was Mistwalker. I'm wrong. He used to work for Square.
See, I happen to really like the animation. Like, the way that the characters and everything look. Okay. I remember whenever we heard the music, and then I started looking up the artwork, And I was like, oh my God, this artwork is stunning. It's like watercolor. It's really, really pretty. And you were like, yeah, too bad the game's ugly.
Ugly.
And I was just like,
it's
oh,
not that good.
okay. And then like I saw it and they're 3D models, but they look like little clay dolls.
Yeah.
And I kind of really like that. Like, I think they're they're cute. Like they look like little chibis.
I have this issue because I had it with ActRaiser to where like the artwork looks so good.
The artwork
and then
is
you
stunning.
Have these models and I'm just like, that's gonna age.
Yeah.
Whereas like 2D animation, like Child of Light still
2D animation
beautiful.
is timeless. Like, because the technology of 2D animation doesn't necessarily change as much.
Really good.
Whereas 3D modeling is going to get better and better and better and better every single year. Even multiple times a year. The technology changes so rapidly.
But, like, that doesn't detract me from liking a game.
Oh, same.
Like, I
enjoyed Gex, and I think that's the ugliest game that we've played so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, all right.
Sorry, Gex.
Slip of the tongue.
Mm-hmm. Snow-tanned worker.
How do you get a snow tan?
Oh, I get snow burned.
Snow burns?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's the reflection of the sun off the snow.
Okay. So he's got like a farmer's tan from
the snow, yeah.
Okay. Oh, we got some fog stones. So fog stones are the only way you can flee from battle.
Okay.
You actually have to use items. It's not just escape and You actually have to use fog stones.
Oh.
So always keep those in handy in case you want to skip out on a battle.
The chef is like, we're closed. Get out.
Okay, that's a mysterious locked chest. We get an item much later on that allows us to revisit all the areas and open this mysterious chest.
Do you think the chef knows there's a mysterious locked chest in his restaurant? He's just like, Bill left that 35 years ago. We don't know what's in it, but, it's a part of the decor now. Like,
please don't open that. It ruins the aesthetic.
I know.
It's the only reason we have a 4-star review on Yelp.
I know. Can you imagine? He's like a collector, and he's like, look at the beautiful architecture and the beautiful like sculpting and things of this chest. And then someone just comes and opens, and he goes, "No, you devalued it!" Like how people are with games, like, "Oh my god, you can't open it; it's gonna depreciate in value."
Oh god! And this is the overworld. You want to be on the lookout for little sparkles.
He turns into a giant.
Ingredients. What still gets me are their little, like, stubby legs.
I know. That's a part, to me, that's a part of the charm. Like, I love their little stubby legs, their little stubby arms. Like, they're just like little sticks. I picture them walking on, like, extreme stilettos. Mm-hmm. Like the ballerina stilettos. They're all just ballerinas.
Ration.
Oh. Rashishin.
Rat-a-tat-tat. What do we got here? Athenian water. That is like revival. Yeah. So we're going to look here. Yep. Revives a knocked out character. Also recovers a small amount of HP.
KO'd.
We have a tent, which we can only use outside of battle and on the overworld. And we have potions. Okay, neat.
I would say for this game as well, don't be afraid to use your stuff.
Nah. I can agree to that. You don't need to be super conservative with your items. There's so many shops.
Yeah.
And money's not that hard to get in this game.
Right.
Especially because, like, you get so many materials that you can just sell. It can rack up pretty well.
Oh, yeah. But what you're doing now, I believe, is going around. You're trying to find this mysterious girl who is the sacrifice.
Let's see. He said in the house was a bookshelf.
Gotta find the bookshelf.
Than the mother, and she's out.
But there's a lot of benefits of going around talking to all of the characters.
I like to talk to everyone in a town.
Yes.
Especially in this game when I found out that's how you find recipes.
Yes.
You have to talk to certain people and they'll be like, oh, you have these ingredients. I'll give you the recipe. If you don't have the ingredients,
they won't, yeah.
Lovely weather we have today, don't you think, old boy?
I know. It's like, I would be kind of pissed off if I went grocery shopping and, like, someone peeked inside my bag and saw, like, oh, this bitch has celery. She got some carrots.
I can
she
teach
has
you
some
how to
chicken,
make a celery stew.
and then she like the person would just be like, "Hey, do you want a recipe for some chicken soup?" I'd be like, "Oh man, yeah," and then I'd get home and be like, "You know what would have been better to have the recipe first, and then I could go forage for all of my ingredients."
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have to find the falling snow monument. There was a girl last seen there.
Oh, it's 6,
She does look a little like 6.
but healthier.
Yeah. I don't know.
This is the
let's
before.
drop her from a roof, see how she lands. Are you 6? Here, drop 5 feet.
Oh, she crumbles.
What do we have here? Apothecary.
Ooh.
This is where we're going to get our shop. These are the items that I recommend buying the most. Ethers. Ethers increase your MP, which is basically the bread and butter of your skills.
Mm-hmm.
You will deplete them because like you have so many skills, it's just like, oh, I can one-hit these enemies. Piece of cake.
Yeah.
And then you'll find yourself at a boss.
And you're
you'll
not
be
going to
low
have
on
any MP,
and you'll be like,
yeah.
well, shit. This is the tutorial on tempering items. You can upgrade your weapons to make them hit harder. Just like in Ys.
Just go to the blacksmith and be like, "Be my friend, fix my sword." But yeah, just talking to everyone, you get a lot of intel on who you're looking for, how everyone feels about her, and then you get your recipes and things like that help.
But they also tell you that like the reason this whole thing is happening is because the monsters are getting more aggressive. Progressively more aggressive, so they're trying to put a stop to it.
Yes.
Which means there's a sacrifice. He's a toothless old man, so if I did voiceover, he'd choke like this.
Well, short man, how you doing? Never eat raspberries.
We have some raspberries.
Yes, and they did the job splendidly. If you must know. TMI, puppers.
There are blackberries behind the raspberries.
I didn't have to get to the blackberries because as soon as I ate some raspberries, I was just like, oh, it's coming.
Good to go. Yeah. We had
My stomach turned into the Amityville Horror.
It did. Yeah, we had a pretty intense surf and turf dinner.
Yes, we did. Hey, little penguin.
Pingy.
These pengies have like razor sharp teeth.
They do. They have like weird little fangs inside their beaks.
They remind me of, is it swans?
Yes.
Like swans actually have teeth, and it's just like, Jesus Christ.
Yes. They're freaking terrifying. Anyone who's never been chased by a swan, count your blessings.
Yeah, I've never been chased by a
Oh
swan.
my god, it's terrifying.
But I've seen videos, and like it seems funny until you see the damage done.
Yeah.
Then it's just like, oh my god.
Well, even like a lot of large birds can do damage even without teeth. Like the book I'm listening to right now.
With the turkeys.
This girl grew up and her dad was a taxidermist.
Uh-huh.
But he also just like randomly rescued animals.
Okay.
So they would often have like really weird pets.
Look at this guy.
And her dad rescued like this gaggle of like giant quail. I think she said
Okay.
they were, but they look like turkeys.
Oh,
And
okay.
she was like, her and her sister would always have bloody ankles from them like biting.
Walloompa. Walloompa doopa doopa doo.
Super slap!
Hey, what the 5 flipper say to the face? Slap. There we go. They always die so prettily.
Puff of glitter. That's how I want to go.
And antidote. Cool. Those are always good from poison.
I'll always be with you. Why? Because my ashes were turned into glitter and you can never get rid of glitter.
That's cute.
A little bit morbid, but...
A little morbid, but cute. I like it. There we go. And just like Child of Light, it takes nothing to level up in this game. That is like the one complaint I have with Dragon Quest, and it's less of a complaint and more of a nitpick.
Where
you have
it's
to
really...
get through like 70 battles before you gain a level.
Oh.
Unless you find metal slimes, which die a certain way, they have all the XP.
Okay.
So like the average enemy has like 20 EXP, 12 EXP, 34 EXP. A slime has 1,200
Oh my god.
EXP. Yep. All right, in the next part, we're going to go to the Falling Snow Monument. We'll see you then.
Toodles.